Hi, I'm Jen, and I'm here to explain how the portioning rulers in the Edwardian Modiste book work. A lot of people are using this book for all of the 1912 costumes that are coming out this year, and I've heard a lot of people talk about how scary they are and how they don't understand how they work, and so I've really enjoyed using these kind of patterns in the past, and so I wanted to take a minute just to kind of explain how it works. Now, Francis Grimble and also there's some other books from the 1890s that also use these kind of scales, and they have slightly different systems, but I'm going to specifically focus on this one, and then if there's interest I can do some of the others as well. So the first thing that you do for this is you figure out what your bust measurement is, and so for this you're going to do this over your foundation garments, whether you're wearing a corset or whatever it is that you're going to wear with your costume, and you're just going to measure around the broadest part of your bust and take that measurement. If there's any kind of wiggle room about what it is, go up a measurement, because these are fitted with no ease, so they're supposed to fit your body exactly, and so if there's any doubt, you want it to be a little bit bigger, and you can always take it in versus being too tight and it's harder to take it out. So what you do for that is, once you have your measurement, for me it was 38 inches, and so you go back to the back of the book, and there's all these little rulers in the back, and so you're going to find the one that says your measurement on it. So I found the one that said 38 inches, and I just went and made copies of that. And so I've got my bust measurement, which is the main ruler that you're going to be using, and I taped these together. Make sure you get them taped right because they overlap each other a little bit, and so you tape them together. I taped an extra one on here just to make it a little bit longer, and so this is your main ruler. Now you can do the whole thing with just one ruler if you want. The older versions of these books, they don't tell you to do any other rulers. You just have your one ruler that you draft your whole pattern with, and it does work, but there's going to be more problems with it that way. What the Edwardian Modiste does is it uses two rulers for the bodice, and then it also uses a waist and a length ruler for skirts, but we're just talking about bodices for today, so you can kind of get the feel for it. What you're going to also do is you're going to have a second measurement that's going to be your back length. And so for this one, it says to go from the bone in your neck. So I'm assuming that's the first vertebrae that kind of sticks out in the back of your neck. And you're going to be measuring down to your waist. So what it says to do is to tie a ribbon or a belt around your waist. And again, do this with your corset on so you can get an accurate measurement. And you're going to measure from that bone to your waistline, and then you double it. So you take that number times 2. So on me it was about 17.5 inches, and I multiplied that times 2, and I got 35 inches. So my bust length is 38, and my bust width is 38, and my waist length is 35. So you can see it's a little bit shorter. Now the reason you do that is because just because you're big around doesn't mean that you're 6'2" tall. So if you use your bust measurement for everything, it's going to make your pattern get taller in addition to getting wider. So by getting a more accurate height measurements with that length one, it makes it a little bit more appropriate. You don't have to do so many alterations down the road. Okay, so once you've got your two rulers made, then what you do is you take your pattern. So the pattern I'm going to show is one that I've mentioned to a couple of people, that they have a fitted corset cover pattern in here, and what this is it's an early brassiere. So they wore this with their short corsets, and that was what they wore instead of a bra. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking this pattern, and I've blown up the first piece and made it a little bit larger just so it's a little bit easier to see, and I've gone ahead and color coded a little bit. I've done kind of a purpley pink color for the length, and that's the one that we're going to use the length ruler for, and then these lines going across are going to be measured with your bust measurement ruler, and so that's this one right here. Okay, and so we've got these. We've got a big white piece of paper. You're going to need some kind of a T-square, something like this, or if you have one of those L-shaped rulers, those work even better. If you don't have either of those, then you could also use any kind of something that has a 90-degree angle that's firm. So this is just the back of an old sketchbook. You could use a book if you wanted to. Just anything that has a perfect 90-degree angle can be used. I'm going to move my camera so you can see this better, and then we'll start.